Good morning, students. Today we are going to do our next chapter of movements in the kingdom of fools. It is a Kannada folk tale by A.K. Ramanujan. And in the kingdom of fools is an interesting story about a kingdom ruled by a foolish king and his foolish ministers. Their ways are weird, their ways are strange, they are different from other people, and their decisions confirm their stupidity. They show their stupidity. They reversed all the laws of nature, they reversed all the laws of country, and everything in the kingdom had the same price, that is 1 rupee. And people, they were ordered to sleep during the day and work during the night. Normally we work during the day and sleep during the night, but they reversed the rules of nature and they said that we should, the people, they should sleep during the day and they should work during the night. But as you know, the fools they are harmful to others as well as they are harmful to themselves. So it so happens with this king and the ministers, they became the victim of their own foolishness. So let us see what happens in the story. This is page number 19, lesson 4 in the kingdom of fools. In the kingdom of fools, both the king and ministers were idiots. They didn't want to run things like other kings, so they decided to change night into day and day into night. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their businesses only after dark and go to bed as soon as the sun came. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death, and the people did as they were told for the fear of death. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. So, as I told you, it is a kingdom of fools, and both the kings as well as his ministers, they were idiots. Idiots means foolish. They were not wise, and they didn't want to run things like other kings. They want to do something different. So they decided that they should change night into day and day into night. And they ordered their public, they ordered the people that they should be awake at night. They should till their fields, they should plough their fields at night. They should run their businesses only after the dark and go to bed as soon as the sun came. Normally what happens? We do these activities during the day and we sleep during the night. But they ordered their public to do the reverse, to do their business at night, to work at night, to work in fields at night and sleep during the day. As the people, they were very much afraid of king, so they followed as they were told. They started doing this practice. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. The king and the minister, they were very happy at the success of their project. Means everybody is following them, that they are considering day as night and night as day. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Everyone was asleep and not a mouse stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. So one day happened, a guru and his disciple. Disciple means his pupil. They entered the city, they came to the city and they saw the city was very beautiful. It was broad daylight, but there was nobody around. कोई भी नजर नहीं आ रहा था. Everyone was sleeping and not even a mouse was seen there. Even the cattle, even the animals, they were also trained to sleep by the day. The two strangers, they were very much amazed. Amazed means surprised to see by what they saw around them and wandered. Wandered means roamed around the city. They roamed around the city throughout the day till evening, and they suddenly saw the whole town woke up and they went about its nightly business. Somebody was going to their shops, some were going to their offices, some kettles were roaming around, and some people, they were going to plough their fields. The two men were hungry, and now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same, a single rupee. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost a rupee. The Guru and his disciple were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. Now the two people, the Guru and the disciple, they were very hungry, and now they saw the shops were open, so they went to buy something. They wanted to buy some groceries, and they were very surprised to see that with a single rupee, the single rupee, they can buy anything they want. Whether it is a 1 kg or 2 kg of rice, whether it is a bunch of bananas, any fruit, anything that cost only 1 rupee. Now they were very much delighted. They had never seen a thing like that everything is costing only for rupees 1, and they bought all the food they wanted for a rupee. When they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized this was a kingdom of fools, and it would not be a good idea to stay there. And he said to his disciple, "This is no place for us, let us go." But the disciple, he didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap there. All he wanted was good and cheap food. And the Guru said, they all are fools. They won't last very long. And you cannot tell what they will do to you next. Now they have bought their food. Now they cooked their food. They had eaten their food. They were quite satisfied. Now the Guru realized that this is a kingdom of fools. These people are not wise, and from his experience, he realized that it would not be a good idea to stay there. So he said that this place is not good for us. We should move from there. But the disciple, he didn't want to leave that place. Why? Because he found that everything is very cheap here. All he wanted was very good and cheap food. And the Guru said that these people are fools. These are not wise people. They are foolish people, and they won't last very long, and they can put you also in some trouble. As I told you, the foolish people, they are harmful to themselves. They are harmful to others also. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay, and the Guru finally gave up and said, "Do what you want, I am going," and he left. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas, ghee, rice, wheat, and grew fat like a street side sacred bull. But the disciple, he didn't listen to his Guru's wisdom. He said, "I want to stay here." And the Guru, he finally gave up. He left him. He said, "Do whatever you want to do, but I am not going to stay here. I am going to leave this." So the disciple, he stayed on, and every day, because everything was very cheap, he was eating to his fill, like bananas, ghee, fruit, rice, wheat, everything he wanted. He ate to his full, and he grew very fat like a bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked. And as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. His brother ran to king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him, and this merchant is to blame. He should have built a good, strong wall, and you must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice." What happened? One bright day, as they were sleeping in the night, and they were sleeping during the day, and they are working during the night. And on one bright day, when everyone was sleeping, a thief broke into a rich merchant. He came into a rich merchant's house and he made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. Sneaked in means entered secretly. And as he was carrying his loot, all that he has looted from that house, the wall of the house, it was an old wall, it collapsed and on his head and he was killed on the spot. Now his brother, the thief's brother, he ran to the king and he complained, Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing means following his ancient trade. Ancient means old trade. His work, when he was following his own ancient trade, and a ball fell on him and it killed him. So this merchant whose house he was looting, he is to be blamed and he should have built a, why he had built such a weak wall, he should have built a good and strong wall, and you must punish the wrongdoer and you must compensate the family for this injustice. The king said, justice will be done, don't worry, and as at once summoned the owner of the house. As we know that the king was foolish and he came into his talks and he said, justice will be done to you, you should not worry, and at once he summoned. Summoned means called the owner of the house. Owner of the house was a rich merchant. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him. Question me, such and such, Your Highness. He asked him his name and he told his name. Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house? Then he further asked him, were you at home when this man burgled your house? Yes, my lord. He broke it and the wall was weak. It fell on him. He said, yes, I was in my house and he entered my house. The wall was weak. It was broken and it fell on him. The accused pleads guilty. You have all killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you. Now he gave his judgment. He said, because your wall has killed this man's brother, it means you have murdered this man and we will have to punish you. We will punish you for murder. Lord, said the helpless merchant, I didn't put up the wall. It's really fault of a man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him. Now this merchant, he said, my lord, I didn't put up the wall. I didn't make that wall. And it is not my fault, it is the fault of the man who had built this wall. Because he didn't build it right and you should not punish me, you should punish that person. Who is that? God said, call that person. Who is that? My lord. This wall was built in my father's time and I know the man. He is an old man now, he lives here. He said, this wall was built when my father was alive. I know that person now, he is very old and he lives nearby, I got. The king sent out messengers to bring him the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. Now the king sent his messengers and to bring that bricklayer who has built that wall, and they brought him and tied his hand and foot. You there, did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord. King asked, have you built that this man's wall in his father? His father was alive. He said, yes, my lord, I did. I built it. What kind of wall is that you built? It had fallen on a poor man, killed him, and you have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. Now he gave his judgment that you have not built a good wall. It has fallen on a poor man. It had killed him. So you have murdered him, and we will have to punish you. Now before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, please listen to me before you give your order. It is true, I built this wall. It was no good, but that was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I could keep my eyes on my mind. I couldn't keep my eyes on my mind on the wall I was building, and you must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. Now, before the king could order for execution for his punishment, the poor bricklayer pleaded. Pleaded means requested. He requested, please listen to me, sir, before you give your orders. It is true that I have built this wall and it was no good, but this is not because of my fault. because my mind was not on it. And I remember when I was building this wall, a dancing girl who was going up and down the street all the day with her anklets. She was wearing anklets and she was moving to and fro in the street, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building, and I was distracted by that dancing girl, and it is not my fault, it is her fault. So you must get that dancing girl, and I know where she lives, I will call him, you must punish him. You are right, the case deepens, we must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. Let's get that dancer wherever she is. Now the king says, yes, now this case has become very complicated, and it is not easy job to give judgment of this complicated case. So you get the dancer. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came traveling to the court. Now the dancing girl, she has also turned very old, and she came traveling. Traveling means shivering out of fear in the court. And the king asked him, did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Now the king asked the same question, that were you walking in this street up and down many years ago while this poor man, he was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it well. She agreed that she remembers. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling, and you were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. It has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You have to be punished. Now he said, this is because of you, because you distracted this young man. You were moving here and there in that street with your anklets jingling. That is why he got distracted. He made a bad wall, and this wall, it had fallen on a poor burglar who was killed him. So you have killed an innocent man, and you will have to be punishment. You will be punished for this. She thought for a minute and said, my lord, wait, I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me, and he was a lazy scoundrel. He made so many excuses and said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all the day. He made me walk up and down to the house a dozen times. That was when this bricklayer saw me. It's not my fault, my lord. It's the fault of goldsmiths. Now she thought for a minute, she waited for a minute. She said, wait, my lord, now I remember why I was walking up and down, why I was moving here and there. She said, I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me, and he was a very lazy person. He gave many excuses. He said, I'll give it now, I'll give it after an hour, I will give in the evening, and that is why I have to go again and again to his shop, and it is not my fault that I was moving here and there. The bricklayer saw me and he got distracted. My lord, it is the fault of goldsmith. Poor thing, she is absolutely right, thought the king. Weighing the evidence, we have got the real culprit at last. Get the goldsmith where he is hiding at once. Now, the king agreed, yes, she is absolutely right. It is not her fault, it is the fault of that goldsmith. He was the real culprit, and bring him wherever he is hiding at once. Immediately bring him to my court. The king's bailiffs searched for the goldsmith who was hiding in a corner of his shop when he heard the accusation against him, and he had his own story to tell. King's bailiffs, king's policemen, they searched for the goldsmith and brought him before the king. Now he told his own story, why he had delayed the jewelry. My lord, he said, I am a poor goldsmith. It is true, I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry. Before I finished the rich merchant's order, they had a wedding coming and they couldn't wait. You know how impatient the rich man asked. He said, "My lord, I am a poor goldsmith. It is true that I made this dancer come many times to my door, and I gave her excuses because I could not finish making her jewelry. I couldn't finish her order at time because before that I have to finish a rich merchant's order because they are having a wedding. They were having a wedding at their home, and they were not ready to wait for it. And you know, these rich people, they are very impatient. Who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor man's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mess of his wall, which has now fallen on an innocent man and killed him? Can you name him?" He said, "Who is this rich merchant? Please tell me who distracted this poor man, who delayed this poor woman's jewelry, and she has to move here and there again and again, and that distracted the bricklayer, and because of that he couldn't make the wall properly, and this wall, it has fallen on the innocent man and killed him. Can you name him?" He asked the name of that rich merchant. So this is the first part of the story, and the next part of the story we'll do in the next lesson.